Well, hello, I'm Jerry McKee, and we are here on my back porch right now. And we've got some great guests with us today. And we're going to find out a lot about the arts. And you're going to find out what Union County, what do they do for art? Because most people don't think, you know, do we have art or do we have what? And, you know, a lot of schools have kind of slacked back a little bit on that. When I used to go to school, we had art class and had all kind of things. Of course, you know, we had a horse and buggy to get to school too. So, so we're going to be talking to Tina Cordell and also Bennie Giles and Joe Copley.
Copley.
Copley. Okay, you told me that. It's spelled like Copley.
Yes,
and while we're at it, it's Giles.
It's Giles.
Giles. Okay. What did I say, Giles?
Yeah, I get called everything. That's okay.
That's all right. My last name's McKee, and everybody calls him McGee. That's all. So if I butcher names up, everybody's used to me butchering people's names up.
Okay.
My wife gets on to me all the time. But we're going to be right back in just a minute. We'll go to our commercial King State Jewelers. For Mother's Day, it's coming up quickly. They have things there for you for Mother's Day. So be sure to stop by Keepsake Jewelers.
I do have some projects, but they're on the back burner.
Okay, we're back, and we're going to get my pretty face over here. Y'all see it enough. And here we have Bennie, and we have Joe, and we have Tina. Better known as Tina C, right? Some people.
On Facebook, yes.
Yeah. And I'm going to go with Bennie, because you, the past president, how long was you president?
9 years.
9 years?
Yeah.
Wow. And what got you interested in art? What really got you going and saying, you know, this is something I want to bring to Union?
I've always loved art. Since I was a young child, I've loved art. And when we go to different cities, I go to art galleries. I've always loved it. And I piddle with watercolors. I've had classes with watercolors, and it's just, I think it's important for everybody to see something, see art. And I can tell you how we got started with it here, but it's just something that's always been important to me.
Right. Now, you say you did watercolors?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. And now, I know that's, to me, is harder to do because
It's hard.
I try to, it seems like it runs.
Oh, it does. Yes, I've been doing one that you have to wait for that one to dry, and I go over and do another leaf and let it dry a little bit, and it takes a long time.
Now, see, a friend of mine used to do some charcoal art, and I always thought that was pretty neat. And I watched it. American Got Talent where they did the sand art.
Oh yeah, that's very cool.
To me, it's fascinating to watch people do it. I don't know the guy's name. You know, he always has a pipe and he's got the curly hair out and it does all the art that used to come on TV.
Oh, Bob Ross.
Bob Ross,
Yes. It just fascinated me. He made it look so easy.
He called them pretty little, not mistakes, but pretty little, what did he call them? Anything he did, he could make it better. Mm-hmm. He could change it. Mm-hmm. If he messed it up, he could change it.
The good ones make it look easy.
Yeah. And he always made it look easy.
And so you probably make watercolors look easy.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but we've had Betsy Skipper taught classes in her studio basement for several years, and then we met at the Arts Council before COVID on Tuesdays and painted, called it Painted with Coffee, and that was fun. And then our group just kind of dwindled away. COVID changed so many things.
It did, and it changed not only in activities like this, even in the churches, it's tremendously dropped because of the COVID. Back then, in McKee, I think they wanted to get out and do something now that they was locked down. Couldn't wait to get out and do it. Now, Ben, you draw? I mean,
Do I draw?
do you draw, Jay?
No, I couldn't draw a stick figure you would recognize. I have no artist. Unless you count acting. I don't know if you can count it because no one would pay me to act, generally speaking, occasionally.
Well, I don't know.
But I've done quite a bit of it, so.
Now, acting is an art.
It is.
Because you really got to. Now, what kind of acting did you?
A lot of Shakespeare. When I was in Charlotte, actually I started in the 90s in Spartanburg, so I went from Spartanburg, where I grew up, to Charlotte for about 25 years, and then got here about 4 years ago. And got into acting, a lot of community theater, and then when I was in Charlotte, did a lot of theater there, and ended up starting a theater company with a partner. And wasn't all Shakespeare we did, but that was a big part of it. We had outdoor Shakespeare in the park, which was just a huge amount of fun. So
Well, it takes a good memory.
it does. It does.
And learning your lines and stuff like that. I know I did a murder mystery, and
With Boogaloo?
well, no, I did this on my own, and we rented out the Inn on the Meriden, and
Oh, no kidding.
Oh.
and we did a murder mystery there, a few of us, and I made it like a TV version, like I Love Lucy, but this is Murder at the Tropicana, and I had a big screen up there with the lines up for them. I didn't participate as I was the director and where it went, but it really turned out great. They just loved it, and even the one that did the murder did not know that they did it until the end. I had confession cards that I laid out, but they had to guess who did it, and even the one that did it didn't guess right.
That would be fun, like
That
at
would be
Rose
fun
Hill
to
or
do. Oh, it
Crosby's
would
house.
be.
It would. It was so much fun. I've written two, and it was just real fun. The first was kind of like a reading, and the other one was more just acting out, and someone just ad-libbed. Just played off the, and that would be me. I was in a couple plays, and I had to ad-lib. I can't remember them lines like you, Joe.
Well, Joe was in To Kill a Mockingbird last year at the
That's
Chapel
right.
Center.
Spartanburg Little
where?
Theater.
Spartanburg.
Oh, it's a little at the.
Yes.
Spartanburg
wow.
Little Theater, yeah.
Yeah, my son, we go up there a lot. They go more than we do because they go a lot. They love it up there, and they got some great shows up there too.
They do.
Now,
They
what
sure do.
did you play? And Joe, remind people too that Joe is the treasurer of the
That's
county. I didn't even tell him what he did.
Well, I played Bob Ewell, who is the father of the woman that was supposedly raped by, the black lead, who was unjustly accused. So he was a right tough character, and ends up attacking a little scout in the end. So I get my comeuppance. It was a rough role, and Barbara, Rippey, and others like saying I didn't like you at all, which I guess is good, So I enjoyed it.
You did a mean character very well.
Yeah, Barbara was tripped like that because sometimes I make my little jokes and like that. She says, "I thought you was a preacher." Oh, she is sweet. Tina, now what got you in the arts? Do you paint?
Well-
Do you sculpt or?
No, I've come here from Australia to look after my parents, who have since passed away, and I joined the Arts Council on the board for I think a month or two, and then the coordinator left, and so there was an opening, and they asked me to come and help, and it's been great, but it was difficult in the beginning because it was March of 2020 when I started, so we had a long time where things were closed and it was very quiet and not much activity. So we've moved on from there, which is great, but it was kind of difficult and, wanted to keep the doors open and things active, but there wasn't a lot of things to do in that first 9 months or a year, so,
Yeah. Well, I
So-
imagine it's real kind of difficult, and I always wanted to go to Australia myself.
Wow.
One of my favorite singers from there, Olivia Newton-John.
Oh, yes.
Is one of my favorite
Yes.
artists. And myself, I can't draw stick people, and I can't paint, can't do it like that, but I'm more artistic than Some design. I used to do wedding cakes and used to do ice sculptures and stuff like that.
Well, that's artistic. That
It
we
is.
would love a demonstration.
And you're a playwright, let's not forget.
Oh yes, yeah.
2 under your belt. So.
Well, I love writing stories. My granddaughter and her friend there, I wrote a ghost story with using them, and they used it there with the high school. Mr. Lawson did to show some of the students there. So look, this is 2 actors here that used to be here because it was only like 6 minutes and worked good. And also the high school let me do a drug awareness there, and I used the students there showing how it build up when you're taking drugs. You know, you start getting academically not showing up for classes. Then another one's not showing up he's on the ball team, and now he's expended because he didn't show up for about a week. And then the next thing like that is the parents find him in his room, passed away. And, you know, it all built up on that, and it's gone pretty far out there too. So I love, my wife says, and here I am laying beside you and you thinking these things.
You two should collaborate. I think that would be good.
But I love doing stuff like that. Now, y'all have a lot of different things going on. Now, Tina, what is some of the things that you got going on that you have because most people say, well, you must sit there and do nothing all day.
We do have still the Tuesday art classes. I mean, not classes, but like painting with coffee, a couple of hours. It's dwindled down really to between 1 and 3 or 4 that come. But that's where you would bring your own projects that you're working on, and it's the space. And if you want coffee, we make coffee, and anyone's welcome to do that. We did have a writers group that was meeting monthly, but that has kind of gone on hiatus at the moment. We have a ukulele group that has just started in the last 3 months. That meets monthly, and we were trying to get Bennie to come and join. We were just talking about that.
Now, do you play the ukulele?
No, I have been tempted to learn. There are some extra people bring extra ukuleles because the people that have come have had like a few. They have 1 or 2 or one they've bought, and then they bought another one, whatever. And they're starting from kind of the basics. You know, it's some of the group have played guitar before, but it's different.
It's totally different.
So they're learning together, and that we print out music, and it's very simple songs. It's nothing too difficult, but they sing as well with the tunes, and we started off with I think 4 or 5, and the last 2 we've had about 10.
Wow!
So it's growing, and
great.
it's fun. You know, it's been.
Joe, do you play instruments?
I do not.
So she's going to try to get you into
You're next.
playing the ukulele and
He needs to. No, I play piano for myself. That's it.
Well, my wife plays piano too, so she's like that.
Well, I will say I've learned to play two tunes on the piano. I had a role years ago where I had to play the piano as the character,
Right.
and so I learned it just enough to do that, which I did with white knuckle terror the whole time. I'm not a trained piano player,
Right.
but I did learn Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata for no particular reason.
Wow.
So that's the one song I play
Yeah.
all the way through. Not without mistakes, but it's
Beautiful.
fun. I enjoy it.
Tina, you can learn how to play ukulele, and you can play this tune, if you'll know it, Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
Through the tulips.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Tiny Tim.
Tiny
Yes. Well, there's an array of ukuleles that they bring. There's one from Oregon that someone's brought that's made out of recycled plastic, and it's really cool, and it's hollow inside, and you can get them in different colors, and it's light as a feather, and it's really neat. I actually saw it and thought, I wouldn't mind, because you can put like fairy lights in it if
Right.
you're playing at night or whatever. It's just kind of, but it has a good tone. It has a good sound.
Did that person make that, or they?
No, they bought it from a
bought it?
place in Oregon.
Oh, okay.
And she's given me the website. I looked it up, and you can get the different sizes. And we've been talking about this. I have very small hands, and you can get the smallest one, like a soprano, which she said would be good for me. That's not the one she got, but it would be even smaller than the one we had. there. But it's a fun group. It's welcome to everybody. It's no pressure. They have a lot of fun, and they sing, and they just try to support each other, and they sit in a circle, and it's just very, I don't know, it's very nice. It's
one of my favorite songs with the ukulele, because people think, well, ukulele only plays certain ones like that, is with the Hawaiian guy that plays somewhere over the rainbow.
Yes.
That's beautiful, the way it was done, and I always thought I wanted to play something instrument like that, but I don't have patience. And you got to have patience. I understand.
That's for sure.
Sally Parker played ukulele. Sally did everything. We miss her so much. She painted. She wrote poetry. She played ukulele, and she sang, and she was just wonderful. And she played that version.
Oh, I bet that was
Yes,
pretty.
it was
Right.
pretty.
Well, we're going to come back in just a moment right here. We're going to go with our sponsors again, Keepsake Jewelers. And I want to ask you about Jury Art Show. I'm thinking, jury, I may have been on a jury before and stuff like that, but nobody ever called me out unless I was sitting in the other stand. But we're going to come back, and I want you to tell me a little bit about what is Jury Art Show. And so you kind of fill me in a little bit on there to educate me there. We'll be right back. And here's from Keepsake Jewelers. All right, we're back, and how? Before we get into the jury art show like that, how did the art council come into effect? I know it's been since what 1800s.
Well, no, about 1983.
Okay.
Bill
The
McCall.
building must have been.
The
Yeah,
building is
building's
quite
pretty
old. Yes, very
that's
old.
what I was kind of
And
saying that.
we aren't sure about the date, but it was a hotel,
Right.
and had 2 floors. Then a 3rd floor had a ballroom, and it burned. And I don't know how they got that out and saved the 2 lower floors, but they did. And then later, Dr. McAlpin was a pharmacist. He had the 1st floor. Dr. Switzer had the 2nd floor, and they call him the old Dr. Switzer. He was older than the one who was almost 100 who passed away a couple years ago. But about 1983, or maybe a little bit earlier than that, Bill McCall was an artist, a frame maker. He was a chemist at Carlisle Finishing Company, and he wanted to bring art to Union for those people who can't go to or don't go to art galleries in other cities. And so he got a good group together, Mrs. Martha Whitener, Colonel Whitener's wife, and she still is involved because she donates the Whitener Award every year in the Jury Art Show. But they just got a group together, and the first officers were Bill McCall, president, Gail Cobb was secretary, and Packy Whitener was treasurer. And they had a lady named Myrtle Laws. She, and in the beginning, they just carried everything around a bookcase. I mean, a briefcase, not a bookcase, in a briefcase. And they would meet in churches. And then finally, Harriet Bruce let them use the little building, rented them a little building next to her shop, something special, which is now the facial.
About Face.
About
Yes.
Face. And so that's where we met for years. And then in about 2008, the building was given to the Arts Council by the McAlpin family. And it was just in terrible shape, and a lot of dirt floor in the back. But with grants from Timken and the city, the county, South Carolina Arts Commission, and Harriet Berry was president then, and Fran Love was on the board with her, and they did a lot of traveling to Columbia to beg, and and got a good many members. But Mert would she would sit in that little building and see somebody go down the street, and she would might go out and call them in, or she would give them about 20 minutes to think they should be home by then, and she would call and say, don't you need to join the Arts Council? So she came up with a big membership list. We owe a lot to Mert Laws, and the membership list has declined through the years because a lot of people aren't here anymore.
Right.
And
that's a thing that y'all are trying to do is get interest with the young people to respect and to appreciate art. To me, I love going and seeing all types from the pottery and y'all had a lot of great guests there to show. And there's with the university being there and growing, I would imagine some of that would hopefully get trickled into the Arts Council for people to come there and see you about setting up an art show or come by and purchasing art.
And it's a perfect location. I've always thought it was a great location, right in the middle of the 3 main blocks between the courthouse and the university. Just a perfect spot.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the downtown's going to even grow even more, and that way you get more traffic
we hope.
there.
We hope.
And I think some things on the horizon. It might not be done in a year or two, but I see it growing with the way the university's growing there, bringing more people in that haven't been, we're at Union. To find out, 'cause, to me, we've got a great arts council. We've got a great museum. And things like that is very important to a county. And if y'all bring in new ones, now, how many, are you, who's the president now, or?
Caroline Barger is president.
Oh, okay. And do y'all have a recruiting drive that you do?
Starts in January every year, a membership drive.
Okay. Well, I think I've seen something there where they can join, because they can join any time, correct?
That's right.
And have you got different prices that they can join in?
Individual it's $25, and then a family is $30, and then it goes up to like silver is $50, gold is $100. It's sort of up to the group or the individual what you'd like to donate or join. And we get businesses that join, or we get families in the community that want to be a gold member or whatever, and we rely on that, partly for keeping us going, and it's really, we very much appreciate members, and I send out a newsletter, and we email, and we have a Facebook page. We actually have an Instagram page now, which I'm building, and we try to let people know about not only what's going on at the Arts Council, but if there's other things that are going on in the community. I try, like recently we had the Environmental Art and Music Festival, so I tried to advertise that a little bit too, and we actually had a little booth there. But it's something that we're trying to bring the community to awareness that we're there, first of all, and with bringing the youth to be involved, but for all ages. And we're trying to look at new things. I've just talked to Mr. Cathcart from the 4-H.
Right.
I talked to him the other day, and he is interested, and so am I, about maybe a collaboration with the kids about blacksmithing.
Right.
So I'm hoping he can do adults as a demonstration as well.
Right. He was on the show here, and he talked about having the blacksmith and how excited they were about that, and also supposed to get together about the safety of cooking a turkey.
Oh.
And open flame with the hot oil and stuff, and how to put it out if it gets out of hand, stuff like that. He said we teaching the kids that, and
wow,
it's very interesting. I'll be having him back on the show there to.
Never fry a frozen turkey is all I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Sure.
I've never done that, but that's what I've heard.
I've heard that.
I like to do things. And now, with some of these packages like that, do they have different things that when they join, like you said you had a gold, I believe, or
Well, there are discounts on classes if we have classes, things like that. But a lot of people over the many years have kind of joined out of a kind of community support sort of situation. And we do get a lot of attendance at different things. One of our the highlights is the juried art show we were talking about, is probably the main highlight. And we also do things like a wine tasting, which is coming up soon.
Now what's the jury? Explain what that is.
So the juried art show, it happens in different counties and different places. It's like an art show where people can enter, and there's an entrance fee, and we have a juror or a judge. The juror is kind of another name for an art show judge. You might know more about how to explain the juror. I don't really know if I explained it that well.
Well, you did.
Is it more than one juror?
No, one each year. We just search for someone who might be a different art, watercolorist or an oil painter, different ones.
Abstract.
They
Abstract.
usually have some achievements in there, and they or have taught it, or sometimes both, and things like that.
So we try to get somebody, and try something different every year. But and they're paid to do this, and the people enter the paintings, and then the juror comes to town. And we did use we did hang the university, but they were having a renovation last year, so it was at the building, and it worked out okay. It was a little crowded, but it worked out okay to have it there. And
typically, the juror will also put on a workshop. Doesn't always happen. We try to whenever possible. So it's a great way to learn from someone who's often a working artist, if not a professional one. So.
which has some really good ones too.
Oh, yeah.
And so I don't think.
So this gives them a chance to someone that's maybe draws extra great and excellent to be able to showcase their artwork.
That's right.
And maybe they've never showed it before, and really that probably encourages them and boosts them to have your art hanging. Or now, is it open just for like watercolors and stuff like that?
No, anything. We don't usually do sculptures because of pottery things, because of the liability.
Yeah, it's a little hard to manage all that. So it's mostly,
have anything,
I guess you call them paintings or mixed media
to hang on the wall.
Like
the prize money is excellent. We've been told that we have better prize money than Spartanburg, Greenville. Starts $750.
$750 is the highest award, and they're not like first, second, and third. They're awards that are sponsored by families or businesses in the community.
Okay.
So Arthur State Bank is one, and we have Founders Federal Credit Union, and we have Frank Hart Insurance. And I hope I'm not missing anybody. We have the Whitener family, and the Switzer family, and Mrs. Rippey.
And the Wilburns.
And the Wilburn family. And we have a new one that is Nanette Jenkins and Mary Jenkins, who are sister-in-laws, have a award for Union County artists. So
that's nice.
They've put an award together for that. So people will enter. I make up a prospectus which has all the information about how you enter, and it has information about the judge, like a picture and her bio.
Right.
The judge we have this year is a lady by the name of Ann Watcher. She's from North Carolina, and I believe that oils is her preference, but she does do watercolor and things as well. And she's a professional artist, and we're looking forward to her. So the prospectus has that information in her bio and an example of her work. And there's like a deadline where you can enter. And then we hang the work. The work hangs for about a month in the like either in the university. We haven't been able to do the university for the last year because of the air conditioning and heating systems being replaced. And I've been told this year and next year we will still not be able to use it.
Oh, my goodness.
That's what I was told. So we will probably have it in the Arts Council again
Now,
this
when,
year.
when you have all these drawings and going to hang for that month or whatever like that, do you have where when people come in off the street or come there to look at, do they have opportunity to write down maybe who their favorites is or anything like that?
We primarily do that on the evening of the art show. Like the art is hanging for a month, but we have a particular evening where we have like a reception, and the juror or judge has already judged all of the work for the awards. And then when we were in the university, we had it on the stage at the auditorium, and they were revealed, you know, had black cloth over them, and they were revealed, and then the sponsor of the award was there if we could get them there, and they would hand over the check, and it was very nice.
Oh, okay.
We still do that, but we do it in a kind of a smaller, modified fashion at the Arts Council, and then we have a reception, and it's very nice. Bennie and Miss Doris Russell have been key players in making that really nice. I mean, we have things like a huge, beautiful floral arrangement that's donated by, usually by Gwen's florist, and lots of different people support us, and it's been really a wonderful
Excellent food, too.
Yes, the food. We struggle a little bit now that you know, there's been some changes.
We miss them so
So
much.
she has her artwork in food too, right?
Yes, definitely.
Shoot, yeah.
Definitely. And Miss Russell, we miss her, and she really was very elegant, and Miss Giles is very elegant. And so it's been, I think, a joy to see how that happens. And
Now, do you have, like a new contest like that, do you have different stages, like, or just one wins it all? Or
well, each award, like the Switzer family sponsors an award, you know, the Frank Hart Insurance, all of those are a separate award.
Okay.
So we might have 9, I think it's 9, 8 or 9. And then we have a People's Choice on the night, so people will vote on the night. And whoever the most votes go to, they win a prize from the Arts Council. So
For the most part, the works are for sale, right?
for the most
are
part.
for sale.
Not always, but mostly.
And anyone can enter. You don't have. You just have to be 18 and over.
I'll make the 18 part, but I don't think I'll make the art part.
But it's, you know, it's really it's a great way to show your art, and you see sometimes like improvement over different years of people entering, and just different things that people try as well. One year, you know, Betsy Skipper tried like a more abstract piece one year, which was great as well. It's different to what she normally does.
Right. Now, where do you have this awards? Is it a banquet? Is that proper to say, or is it just
No, not a banquet. but
Like just a reception. It's
Just
a cater. We
And a
cater.
ceremony.
Right.
That's at the Arts Council.
At the Arts Council? Okay. Well, maybe next time if I could give me a call, and maybe I can live stream.
There you go.
That'd be
Sure.
great.
And that way we can put it
We'll be in touch.
all right there, and we can put it directly onto your Facebook page for the Arts Council. Go directly there. Got a bunch of them got on there right now that from the university on. You know, I could set up. It goes directly to their link. It doesn't say from here to here. You don't have to copy it over to share it. It can go directly to it.
That would be great. Yeah.
We have one lady who is from Chapin, and she says that we have really helped her career. We years ago, she entered, I don't know, 8 or so years ago, and probably won a small award, and she has won higher awards, maybe 500 last year, I'm not sure. And she said, we've done so much for her career, just our little Arts Council here.
Wow.
And she enters.
Well, see, people don't realize that with these events, and especially if you get someone posting on social media, that how viral it goes and where it goes to, and that really boosts someone. And when someone tells you that right there, you say, "Wow, we're doing our job here." Well, we're going to come right back. We're going to ask about kids and art and some things that you have for those. We'll go to Keepsake Jewelers, where you can get your Mother's Day wonderful gift. Don't forget Mom.
days and had about 5 inches of water down in there.
Wow.
And everything would be out.
All right, we're back. We was chatting among ourselves a little bit, talking about how wonderful art. If I would put my art in there, they said they would not judge me for that, but I believe you would. Do y'all have a section for stick people?
We can find somewhere.
We could find
for you.
some.
Okay, well, that'd be great. Now, you do hearing this is like a lot of artwork. I'm thinking in my mind, well, here's professional artists or artists in some of the high schools and like that. What about like toddler activities, children in the elementary schools and things like that? How do you work with the school to maybe come in and get some of the little ones to participate?
Well, currently we have a Union County Schools art show going on. So we've just had the reception for the elementary schools. And the 9th of May is the reception for the middle and high schools. And so the art teachers choose the art that they want, that they feel should be in the show, and they bring it to me, and it's kind of hung the way they sort of put it with string on the back, and it's just, they're all kind of just the artwork. They're not framed and things like that, but they're hung, and so we have a little judge, not little judge, but a judge, that comes. So we had a lady this time, Faith Gaylott is her name, and she's from Blacksburg, and so she's come and judged the school art show, and the PTAs from the elementary schools very kindly sponsored the art shows this year. So from all Jonesville Elementary, Buffalo, Monarch, and Foster Park. Okay. So that was very generous of them. We really appreciate it. And it's really a fun time because we put on, we have pizza and donuts and, punch, things like that. And the kids love to see their artwork on the walls. And they win, if the judge chooses theirs, they win a little bit of a monetary prize, and they're very proud of that, and the families are very proud.
Oh yes,
and so
your child's work hanging up there. I mean,
and they'll get a certificate too.
Yes, everyone gets a certificate. And so it's been really great to see, and it's been great actually for me. I can see some of the kids have improved and entered every year, or they've been chosen to enter every year. So that's been a lot of fun, and we do things like that. So we do that, and then before my time, before COVID and virtual learning happened and different things, we had a lot of summer camp situation, offered.
I was going to ask you about the youth camps.
Well, I've had some struggles getting that kind of back running. I did do a couple of things in collaboration with the Y last summer, and I think we'll be doing that again this summer. But that's been sort of difficult to get enough sort of teachers or helpers with that because everybody's been busy and different things. School's finished later some years than it, was finishing.
On a different time schedule now.
So we're trying to build that up. That's why I was looking at the 4-H situation too, and that's something that I'm really wanting to focus on because
usually how long are the youth art camps?
Usually like a week for each age group, I think it was. So it would be a week over about a 4 to 6 week period. Right. We would do a week at a time, but yeah, that's.
And people are always looking. What can we do for our children? I mean, just looking at your computer, looking at this and this right here, it really doesn't bring out the juices in the brain a little bit to me. With these camps right here, with someone that's really draws pretty good, gives them the edge to go further, and someone that doesn't like me, don't know how, or like it, maybe with some guidance, they say, wow, I can draw.
That's another great reason to join because we send out a newsletter, and these kind of events get published in that newsletter, so it's a great way to keep up with what's going on. So if you're a parent of children that may be interested in art, that is a terrific reason to join the Arts Council.
Yeah. Now, do you put the newsletter on your website or on your Facebook page?
been mailing it out, but we need to do that. That would be something.
Because a lot of times, just knowing experience, people sometimes they get something in the mail, they might look at it, glance at it like this, but most of the time nowadays people are on their computers and they're apt to click and read something on that more than they would pick up a book. And just because a lot of times they don't even do that, they just see it on your Facebook page and then click and see, oh, this is what they're having, this is what they're having. I found more success actually with Facebook than YouTube and the others because it's just a social media highway.
True that.
But
What's our website? I want to make sure I got it right. Union County Arts?
AC Arts.
UCACarts.org, right? There you go.
Yes.
Good place to keep up with
.org.
things. That's right. .org. O-R-G.
And that's where I actually went on there and picked up some things when I put on the ad for y'all coming on here, and got some information off of that. So that's.
And we are continuing to upgrade that. Tina's done a ton of work on that, and then we got another board member who's helping out with that. So we expect the website's going to continue to grow and provide even more sort of benefits and information. So stay tuned to it.
Yeah, 'cause y'all put pictures on there, and
That's right.
some of these, I know the kids would blow them away when they look and say, "Oh, wow, it's on the internet, it's on here," excited about it. And but you, when you have these camps like this, I know you're building back up to it. What are some of the target ages that you're looking at, or each camp? You said you had several, and it depends on the age group. I know you don't want to mix a toddler with a high school student or something like that. It's kind of total different teaching.
I haven't really done them because in my time we haven't done the previous format, I suppose. But we would sort of try to keep it like kindergarten, first grade, and then second and third grade, and fourth and fifth. And it has to be catered differently to the older kids because that's something very much more specific to their age. As the older kids, I'm trying to think of how we can kind of get them interested. We did have a art exhibition with a 10th grader a couple of years ago, and she had her own art exhibition. She had enough art. Her name was Precious Rice, and she's been a very good sportswoman as well, with basketball and softball, I believe. And anyway, she had an amazing amount of art, and we had her own exhibition just for her, and she was like almost 16 at the time. So that was amazing. I thought she was really impressive, and so we're trying to encourage younger people to put their art in as well. And we sell a lot of local art. We have local artists, Nanette, as we spoke about, and Betsy Skipper, and a man named Alan Hopkins is a new artist, and Amber Hawkins. There's a lot of local artists that we have, and we have them. We have some photographs by Everett Lee as well.
He takes some great.
Oh, he does.
Steve Lewis needs to join in there with that also. He takes some great drone pictures and different things like that. And I think he would. He should join.
We've had items from like the carving group from Carlisle. We've had some of their artwork, and Mr. Dr. Weber's done some kind of blacksmithing kind of things with horseshoes and with interesting things made out of the bottom of a shovel and whatever, And we've done some years ago we did a pottery class over a month period. I'm trying right now to get a jeweler to do some jewelry. I've got two different jewelers that I've got one in particular from Rock Hill that I think is going to do a class for us. And it's just something that we try to see what people might like. I've tried to get a knitting and crocheting class, which things kind of happened with the person, so we didn't get that done in the colder months. But I think you can knit and crochet it all through the year, so hopefully I can get something like that started.
Now, what about, we talked about art, we talked about right here, but I've seen that you had something about jam at lunch, or have you had that yet, or music?
Well, we wanted to try to get back to like the monthly music that you had before. I think that was really great, but then that completely stopped during COVID, and then we tried to do one outdoors, and that wasn't as well attended, sort of thing.
Right.
So I would love us to do that again. I think we were sort of, dipping our toes in the water with the ukulele to see if people will come for that. But we don't really have a performance for the ukulele. It's just a class at the moment.
Right.
Whereas previously it was like a music night, which would be great. And
Well, you got a lot of great artists around here, musical talents. There's Freddie Vanford, playing all the harmonicas and the guitar and stuff like that. And I know he used to teach some of the music. And you got others that's around here that's very talented. Union's got a lot of talent here that really would be a great benefit. You need to corn them up.
Yes. Well, I did also talk to the Spanish lecturer at the university one time, and I'm hoping that we can one day come up with something. We were going to have like a Spanish night with flamenco dancing, and like a tapas type of night. He was very interested in that, so I've got to sort of follow up on how we can make that happen.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of creative ideas to me. It's like the waltz, a lot of your debutantes and stuff, they use that, and during some of their big events they have, banquets they have, and that's to me is a heritage that we've had from many years ago. That was very popular. You got our square dance.
We should do the shag dancing, yes.
There you go.
We were just talking about that the other night. But, and we also, last year, I don't know if it's going to be, hopefully it'll be a yearly thing, the Arts Council participated in the Writers' Festival at the university, and I introduced one of the speakers, and I went to all the meetings to plan it and whatever, so that was enjoyable. So I think that hopefully we'll continue that partnership. And we've looked at also things like partnering with the library or the Piedmont Physic Garden, as I've said, trying to have very strong relationships with them.
We're quite open to hear new ideas too. So if there are artists out there, maybe they don't quite fit into the normal boxes or whatever, we'd certainly love to hear from them and other groups and all kinds of creative endeavors we'd love to hear about. Maybe we could come up with a way to help promote it.
To me, even I've seen a lot of great face painting artists that does some great work. I said, wow, that is very creative. They're not using stencils and nothing. They just, freehanded, and I sit there and watch it all day to see how creative their minds are. So yeah, you got a whole area to tap in. Just to get them in there is a thing. Well, I'm going to go one last sponsor here for us, and we'll come back and talk about give some of your sponsors a shout out because they definitely need that, because they're the ones that kind of helps build the Arts Council and helps build this community. So we'll be right back right after going to Keepsake Jewelers again to get you a Mother's Day gift. Okay, we're back, and we'll just talk about some things that you got coming up that's ones I'm interested in is one of the wine tasting.
Yes. Well, we have before that we have sponsored by the City of Union. They're a big sponsor of ours. In fact, we couldn't be here without them and the South Carolina Arts Commission,
That's
actually. Right. But I didn't start this, but we do a chalk walk on a Saturday morning with the anybody can enter, but it's predominantly children, but adults do enter as well. And we have some little monetary prizes for them for the winner, and we get a judge in, and we give them an hour to an hour and a half, and we provide the chalk, and we have sections of the sidewalk on Main Street sectioned off, and they just do their own drawings, whether it's whatever it is. It doesn't have to be anything specific, and that everybody seems to enjoy that. The kids enjoy it. It does brighten up the main street, and it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, the grown-ups love it. It's like a walk of fame. Walking towards the stars down, so they got these on here.
Yes.
That's great.
So we do things like that. We have a wine tasting usually in June, and this year's is going to be the 14th of June, I think we agreed on.
Sounds right.
And so that is usually an evening in 2 sessions, because we can only accommodate, about 50 people at a time. Mm-hmm. And we usually sell 90 to 100 tickets. And a ticket will give you 5 wine tastings and a little bit of cheese and crackers, or cheese that's paired with a certain wine, or chocolate, depending on where the winery is. And our good friend Stephen Marie Hudson choose the winery every year. It's been the thing that they've done in the last 3 or 4 years. And one year they even got the winemakers themselves to come out and promote it, their winery, which was a great evening. A lot of them have been great recently. They were great before that too, but it's just been more of a structured, I guess you'd say. Would that be fair to say? And so it's very popular, actually. A lot of people enjoy it. It's a great social evening. And you learn about wine, and you get to try the wine. And we have tried to keep it in the sort of North Carolina, South Carolina local area.
So you can make a day trip out to the winery, and
yes,
they would, I'm sure, appreciate that.
And so
I
that's...
go by, my travels, I go by quite a few local wineries. From down in the Greenville area and out. I just have to see it. And I like different types of wine, and it's interesting when you got an expert there telling you what it's made.
You can learn a good bit.
You can learn a lot.
If it's made with dessert wine or dinner wine, or because it does make a difference.
That's right.
You eat chocolate with it, or you eat cheese with it, or eat a grape or a pickle.
Yes, that's right, exactly right. So that's been a great evening. We love to do that. We enjoy that kind of evening, and like I said, it's very well attended. So I'm just trying to think what else is coming up. We do. I do every 2 weeks a craft group with the Department of Development and Special Needs (DDSN) group, and that is a lot of fun. We do craft and have coffee, and that's a lot of fun. I sometimes think up these crafts, or I see them online, and then we try to make them work, and some are more successful than others, but we have a good time, and we always laugh, and the group enjoys, I believe, coming. And they show me their dance moves sometimes, some of the ones that like their dancing. So, yeah, it's just things like that. We also do at Christmas time a local artist showcase where we have people that sorry.
No, you're right. I'm glad you mentioned
display their artwork or their cards, their pottery. We've had Lewis Marks is a new, fairly new resident to Union from New Jersey, and he's a potter, and he has made some pottery leaf impression bowls.
It's pretty darn good at it.
And they have sold well. I can tell you, we've been very happy for him to be there. But lots of different things we have. People make, like I said, cards, and we've had earrings in the past, or Christmas ornaments, or I don't know, lots of different things that people make. And so it's an opportunity for about 6 weeks for people to come in and there's an open house on Main Street, so
Right.
we're open for that, and just encouraging people to shop local and
Right.
shop for local
Yeah.
artists. You know,
Exactly.
So-
There's a lot of work these artists do and a lot of creativity. I know I had a beekeeper on my show,
Huh.
and I learned a lot about
I'll
bees
bet.
that I didn't know anything about. From each bee has a certain job that they only do, you know. And found out what happens when the queen bee dies. I said, "Well, just order one." I said, "Order one? It comes in the mail." I never knew that.
isn't that weird? I didn't know
Yeah.
that either.
Didn't know
And,
that.
but he was so detailed and everything, and certain things had to be done a certain way, and it's just amazing. And
I should mention, just let me throw this in as treasurer, we also rent a space out
Right.
for
Yes.
groups, wedding showers might be, or
Cotillion teas.
Birthday-
yeah, exactly,
birthday
teas,
parties.
birthday parties, showers, what have you.
Yeah, because we've actually, my daughter's rented.
Yes, she did.
That's right.
She did. She's so lovely too, actually. But we're having we've got it rented. We had it rented yesterday, and we've got a 100th birthday coming up,
Wow.
which is great. And we've had baby showers, as you say, and yeah, it's been really great because it's a small enough space that if you have 30 or 40, and it's a really perfect space for that. I think we're insured for 82 people, but that's standing, and it's not. You're not going to normally have that many. But
We'll accommodate you though.
yes, but it's a really parking's easy. It's it's a nice size, and it's a good space.
Well, I've heard great things about renting the place out there, and they said it was lovely, real nice, and it just was perfect. You was a great host, getting everything set up for them.
Oh, thank you.
So that's great. Now, Bennie, you mentioned some of the big sponsors there that helped.
Not necessarily a sponsor, but in the beginning, Timken was very important,
Right.
and the City of Union and the Arts Commission in developing the building. It was just nothing. I mean, just
okay.
the walls were there. And then in 2013, we had water damage. Everything had to be taken out of the floor, and the city gave us money. Members gave money. It was so generous. Timken gave $50,000 to start with, gave $20,000 in 2013, and the county couldn't give us money, but they sent inmates in and they dug up the concrete and the dirt and took that away.
Wow.
And so we had a new floor, new walls, and
Well, that's
very
what
fresh
I like
looking.
about small town Union is that when you need something, someone's going to come there and say, okay, we got this group of people, we got this people here. We might not be able to help here, but we can help with labor here, we can help
Right.
with this. So that is great. Well,
Yeah, we should mention Arthur State. They've been steadfast
yes.
supporter.
Yes,
Also
very much
Founders
so.
Credit. I mentioned Barbara Rippey, who's
Right.
generous in so many ways, including
she
the Arts
is.
Council.
And
Are there
Frank
any
Frank Hart,
Thank
Frank
you,
Hart Insurance.
Anybody
Yes.
else we're overlooking?
Like we said, the Switzer family and the Wilburn family.
and we
And
encourage other people to join.
Yes, and come to the receptions, come visit us when we're having public events. That really does the artist level of that. It's just
They do.
a great thing.
It's
Great
great.
way to, get in touch with the community and meet new folks. So we'd love to have you out to visit and join the Arts Council.
And we would love
Yes.
new ideas, or if somebody has a particular skill and they say, I'd be willing to do a class, or I'd be willing to, I would love that, because sometimes that's been difficult to find,
Right.
We are open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 10 to 4, but we're very flexible about that. I mean, we have receptions on like a Thursday evening or a Saturday. I've done Saturday classes, so we're not bound by that, if you know what I'm
Right.
saying.
it's
So,
flexible. Okay.
so
Well, Bennie, Joe, and Tina, I enjoyed the conversation here. I've learned a lot about the arts. Made me feel like I really don't know much about my own art, but it's great, and I'm hoping that this will go all over the place where people will be coming knocking on your door and say, look, I've got a talent, or I want to join. So the key thing is join the Arts Council. It's just not just an empty building. It's full of some great art in
That's
there.
right.
And I've been in there and seen some of it on your walls. And you got a lot of work when you're hanging pictures.
it takes a long time.
Yes, I know, it has to. And thank you both for coming. And all three of you for coming, not both of you, all three of you coming. Next week, we're going to have Mayor Harold Thompson with us, and he's going to talk about being a mayor and what it's like. So stay tuned for that right there. Well, I'm Jerry McKee, and thank you for watching. And go out to the Arts Council and be sure to join.
See you soon, folks.
Have a great day.